I'm back with another topic, another episode here on the Marc podcast of saving your marriage. Man, saving your marriage. Like I say, this goes out to the men out there that's in a marriage. You're on the brink of divorce. You're probably separated right now, or you're probably still married, but you and your wife are not seeing eye to eye. Like again, this podcast is going towards men's issues, what men go through and what we can do to better ourselves. So saving your marriage. Man, what are the common causes of divorce nowadays? I'm going to jump right into it. The role of the husband has been abandoned. The husband no longer does his husband duties, his priestly duties. And everything that I say on this podcast, again, I'll reiterate probably every single episode. I base my episodes off of the Word of God, off of the Bible. If you do not believe, hey, I can't force you to believe. It's free will at the end of the day. But everything I speak on, it's from the Word of God. It's based off of the Word of God. So when I say role of a husband being abandoned, I mean his priestly authority has been removed. It's no longer there. Because in a household, it's, God, Jesus, the husband, the wife, the kids. That's the order. I didn't make it up. That's according to the Bible, in which I believe. So the husband is first. The husband is the head of the house. And once the husband leaves his role of being a husband, just like with anything in life, once the leader or the CEO or the chief, the head honcho, he's removed or he's weakened, everything else under him crumbles. So the husband family crumbles because he's no longer the role of the husband. He's not playing the role of the husband. And there's many causes of this. Like I say, some husbands get burnt out from their wives. They get burnt out. Whatever the reason is, this is the common cause of divorce nowadays. There's women out there that's playing the role of the husband. They're playing the role of the husband and the wife. They're working the full-time job. They're coming home to a full-time job of cleaning, making sure the kids is okay, making sure the house is in order. Their car break down on the way to work. They got to do the husband's role and either fix it or call AAA because the husband is nowhere around. He's probably out of the country or he's probably out of the state or whatever he's doing. He's not there. So she has the double load on her. And that's a burnout on the wife's end. Of course, the wife, she'll get bitter at you, she'll go to nagging at you. And you're like, where is all of this coming from? She's taking care of the finances. She's taking care of the bills. She's taking care of the budgeting. She's taking care of the shopping. She's taking care of everything. The only thing you're doing is probably just going to work and coming home. And that's all you do, or you're probably hanging out or whatever. So she's the head of the house. And that's not her role as the wife. It's your role. Wife controls the marriage. Maybe your wife controls the marriage. And this is totally different from being the role of the husband, meaning she's forced into that position because you as the husband is not doing what you're supposed to do as the husband of the marriage. Maybe you just married a woman that's controlling and she likes to be the head of everything. She likes the leadership. She likes the authority. And without it, she'll fight you to the bitter end of it. So she controls the marriage. She controls everything you do. She controls the money. Give me your paycheck. I'll do everything. Like, she's forceful. She's controlling. And if you have a woman like that wants to be the head of the house and doesn't want to play her part, then marriage is going to end. It's not, or if it's not, it's going to be very bitter. It's going to be very shaken. It will affect your kids. Of course, everyone knows this. Divorce nowadays, and this probably is number one to number two, but cheating, infidelity. There's a lot of cheating going on out here in 2022. There's a whole lot of it, a whole lot of secrets out here that hasn't been exposed. There's a lot of things popping off here in 2022. Divorce nowadays is like eating. It's a everyday thing. People get married to have a better life, to meet lifetime goals, only to run into this roadblock of cheating. Uh, you know, why do men cheat? Why do husbands cheat? I don't have the exact answer, but I do have a couple clues. You might want to check out my other episode, Temptation of Men. That'll give you a clue of why men cheat. But husbands, like I say, they probably abandoned the role. The wife is in control. Wife is controlling the marriage. Every time the husband come home, the wife is always nagging. And instead of correcting at what's at home, the husband just ignores it. You probably ignore it, thinking that it'll go away, but it's only going to get worse. And it's only a matter of time before infidelity comes into play. You're tired of your wife's mouth. You go out, you probably meet someone. She probably likes you. You probably make good for yourself, probably make a decent salary. You look up to par. You're probably in shape. You look nutritioned, and this girl sees you and she likes you and she does the little subtle flirting and you fall for it. Even though she knows you're married, she don't care. And you guys exchange numbers, and then there's a date here and a date there, a text here, a call there, and before you know it, you're in bed with her. And it feels good at the moment, but your divorce is, there's a divorce coming. Your wife will find out eventually. And if she hasn't, it's bound to happen. So, of course, cheating is a common cause of divorce nowadays. Also, too, now, I thought about this very long and very hard. There's actually good men out here that they're good at heart. We all sin. We all make mistakes. We all make bad decisions in life. And that's going to be another topic at hand in the future. Decisions in life. But there's, you have sex before marriage. And then, the girl gets pregnant. The woman gets pregnant. And this guy or the parents or however it comes about, marriage has to come from it. Oh, you got my daughter pregnant, or the guy is like, man, I got you pregnant. Let's just get married and let's just let it happen. And there's a lot of marriages out there that is like this. It was a pregnancy that resulted in marriage. Because she got pregnant, a marriage had to come out of it. And this could have been a one-night stand. I'm not giving an excuse of why the woman got pregnant, but it happens. So, the man is now, I'm not going to say forced, but now he's in a marriage and he knows nothing about the woman. He knows very little about her, never stayed with her for a year, 2-3 years before even proposing. It happened fast, And that doesn't work out because you shouldn't marry someone you don't quite know, you haven't lived with. It's not quite wise to meet a woman, date her for 3 months, and then decide to marry her. It's not wise at all because 3 months doesn't give you enough time to know who she really is. So be careful with that. Especially you get her pregnant within the 3 months and it's like, let's get married. Bad decision. It might wind up as a divorce. You don't know how she is. You don't know her past. You don't know her history. You don't know if, there's a lot of women out here, man, that's very promiscuous. Man, they are partiers. They go clubbing. They'll sleep with a lot of guys. They don't care if they're in a relationship. They like to party. They like to drink. They like to smoke. They like to have a good time. So you got to be careful with that. And you chose the wrong woman to be your wife. This also results in a divorce. I don't know how many times I drive through Miami. I walk through Miami. I go into shopping centers and stores and coffee shops. I'm a coffee drinker. And it's obvious this guy is obvious. They're not married, but they could be married. And it's obvious the girl is bad. You know, she's a 10 or however you want to rate her. Like, she's very attractive. And he fell for her. He fell for the looks and not the heart. What do you mean by the heart? Well, a good-hearted person, a kind woman, a humble woman, a silent woman, a woman that is not out there like that. He went for the looks alone. He don't care if she was a promiscuous woman back in the day, which that shouldn't matter. It doesn't, but that still holds weight. You know, he doesn't know her. He doesn't know what she does behind his back. So he just fell in love with the looks and married the looks and not what she really is. And come to find out a year later, 6 months later, filing for divorce because she's a gold digger. He might have lost his job and, you know, all type of things. He just didn't know her. So he just the guy married her based off of the looks and looks alone. And there's a lot of guys out here that's miserable in marriages right now because back then, your fiance or your girlfriend at the time was fine. She was attractive. You fell in love with her. You didn't really see who she really was. You didn't pay attention to the little things she was doing while you guys were dating. And you fell so hard for her, you married her, and here it is years later, you're miserable. I don't want to be with her. She nagged me too much. I didn't know she was like this. Oh my gosh. She spends too much. My gosh, the credit card bill is astronomical. Can't even afford her. Gotta look at those things before you get married. Just don't fall in love for the wrong reasons as far as looks, money, circumstances. There's even guys out here that'll marry women because they make a lot of money. They make $90K a year. They make a whole lot of money. And they marry this woman. Come to find out, she's bitter. She was divorced. Whatever the case may be, a woman cannot take care of a man. A man can only take care of his family, of the household. That's just how we were made. Yeah, I see the faces right now. What are you talking about? Like I say, this is directed towards the men, and the men know exactly what I'm talking about. There's just two different aspects of life. There's the man's aspect and there's the woman's aspect. We walk according to who we are. So, like I say, you fall in love for the wrong reasons, whether it's looks, money, or, you know, circumstances, and whatever circumstance that you are in, you're forced to be married because, you know, the girl at the time, her parents was very religious or very, you know, religious, and they believe in marriage before sex, and they find out you guys had sex, so you're forced to get. It's so many circumstances out there as why people are married, but got to be careful. Don't just marry just to marry. Marriage is a very, very serious commitment, a lifetime commitment. And there's dire consequences once you divorce, in which I'll get to that in a second. And like I say, a lot of divorce comes from you pay little attention to her actions, as I was saying before. You don't know her. You don't know what she do. You don't know. Especially if she gets mad at you and she goes out, it was a girl's night, it was a girl's trip, or any type of bull crap like that. Listen, I play a couple video games, and mostly I play a little Call of Duty. And there are things that you hear on there is crazy. But I was talking to this, and I'm gonna tell you how crazy it is. I was talking to this one dude. He's from, I don't know if it was Jamaica or the Bahamas. It was one of those. I think it was Jamaica. Yeah, I believe it was Jamaica. And we all just joking around. And he said, American women. Oh man, boy, American women are my favorite. And that kind of thing, you know. I don't know if any other men was paying attention in the lobby, but I was like, what you mean by American women? He was like, because a lot of American women, they go on these trips and they be a bunch of girls or a bunch of women, like a women's trip, as I previously discussed. They go over there, or be like besties going over there. And they're married, ring on and everything. They'll tell the guy, I'm married. But the guy, these Jamaican, I mean, I don't want to just make Jamaican men out to be bad, but this is just who I was talking to at the time. He approached the girl or the woman. I don't want to call a female girl. He approached the woman and started shooting game, just like most men do. Just shoot game, just to see what's up. And she was down for the whole thing. She said her little sob story about how she's not happy in her marriage and she don't know what she wants to do. She's burnt out. She can't stand him. He's never home. He might have been suspected of cheating. She's seen some text messages. Hey, maybe this is the get back. And the woman knows she's not gonna ever see this guy again. This is like spring break. Whoever, you guys know what spring break is down here in Miami, Memorial's Day. You go to the beach or you go to these clubs and wild things can happen. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. And it's the same concept. They know they'll never see each other again, so they do the wild, wild west. And that's just what he was explaining. She did everything under the moon to him. He had his way with her. He was able to do whatever he wanted. He said, man, I work out every single day. I make sure I'm in shape, in the tip-top shape of my life. So when these American women come over here, it's free pickings. And most of them have the same attitude, the same personality, the same goal. They going over there to get smashed up. And I ain't talking through drinks either. Drinks are involved. But you know what I'm saying. Know your woman. Be the head of your household. Treat your wife right. Be the man that you're called to be. Because when you start slipping, hey man, there's a lot of men out here in the world that'll love to get your wife. Wait for her to get divorced. They'll probably don't even wait for her to get divorced. You probably got some people around you right now that is eyeing your wife like, I hope it don't work out. I'm sure after. I'll be after. I hope she let me, Well, we live in a doggy-dog world. Very sinful world. I'm not a pastor by all means. I'm just speaking what I know and what I see and what I hear. I've never, and I'll take you a little journey back to before my marriage. I was a wild boy. I was a womanizer. I stated this in my podcast, and I'll say it. I don't care. I have testimonies that I can speak on that I'm not ashamed of. I know who I am. Not scared of nothing, to the degree of that. But I've met a lot of women in my lifetime. I've slept with a lot of women in my lifetime. I'm just being perfectly honest. And to be honest with you, a lot of women that do those type of things, that sleep around, they are broken. They are broken. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to just say it. A lot of these women are broken, either through prior divorces or relationships. They've been hurt to the point, man, they sleeping around. They are sleeping around. And a lot of them are just gold diggers. They rather, if I'm going to sleep with you, I might as well get paid for it. That's the mentality nowadays. And I've messed around with a lot of women, and let me tell you, well, it's the things you hear these women say. They get phone calls from their boyfriend. I've never messed with, at least not from my knowledge, I've never messed with a married woman. Still doesn't make it right what I did with, but I've messed with women that were in relationships. And their partner, significant other is calling them and they with me. And I'm like, dang, like I feel bad, but I mean, she over here, I ain't forced over here. So you gotta pay attention to the little things. I don't know why I jumped off, but pay attention to the little things that she does. If she has a promiscuous past and she does not have God in her life, you might not want to mess with her. Just saying. Another reason for divorce nowadays is, the wife lets herself go. Yeah, it's just what it is. The husband didn't meet her like that. She gained some weight. She let herself go. She don't get her hair and makeup done anymore. She's comfortable with who she is, and she feels that you love her for who she is. And deep down, you're like, man, she done got big, man. I'm embarrassed to be seen around with her in public. I gotta hold my head down. I gotta hold her hand now. And like, Some dudes are disgusted with their wives because they've packed on some pounds. Maybe it's because of kids or whatever. And I'm not gonna say well, some dudes, they do file for divorce, but a lot of the times the husbands neglect their roles as the marriage because they don't want to be seen with her. It's embarrassing. And then the wife eventually finds out he's cheating or whatever, and divorce is filed. That is a huge one when it comes to men. And I know I'm giving up game, man, married men out there, but hey, man, we gotta step back up to be the husbands that we're called to be. We can't be little boy. We can't do that type of stuff. To me is like little boy stuff. Yeah, I was like that when I was 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. I didn't want, a big woman. I don't look my way. No, nah, not me. But you have to grow up. We're all not going to look the same, especially in a marriage. You're married for 10, 15 years. You're not going to look the same as if you were 18. Get that mentality out. And if you have to put social media down, put that down, because that's distracting you. You're looking at all these females as 18, 19, 20, 21. They're posting pictures of their bodies, videos of their bodies, and all of this. Sexual things. And then you look over at your wife and it's like, man, grow up. Don't get tempted like that. Because that will cause you for infidelity, and it's gonna end your marriage. You lose your house, lose your kids. You lose it all. Somebody know what I'm talking about out there. I don't know who he is, but I know he's watching. I know it. Trust me. Another reason for divorce nowadays in 2022, influences from outsiders, from others, from family members, from friends. You put your marriage business out there. You talk too much. And if you're a man and you out here talking about your marriage, need to stop that. Don't be talking about your wife to your friends or colleagues and, oh, she's this and I can't stand her and she gained this weight. And men don't do that. Don't put your business out like that, because you don't know this person. They're going to be gossiping about you, about your marriage. Oh, look at them two. They holding hands and they acting like they all in love or whatever. And he just told me the other day, he just, did this or did that. How he don't like her. He can't stand her. Don't put your business out there. If you got something to say to your wife, you need to tell her. Don't tell nobody else. They don't run your marriage. You're not with them. Communicate with your wife. Tell her, hey, man, you need to lose some weight. It might spark an argument, but it's better to have a conflict with that than to hold that in. And then eventually you get to the point, you do things. Tell her. And if she can't understand that, hey, you got a problem on your hands. But you have to come to a resolution as a marriage, as one. So don't be out here talking to family members about your marriage. Or we're separated and I'm about to divorce her. And no, don't fix that in your household, because nobody else out here can help you. Nobody else out here can help you but you. Talk to your wife. Talk to your significant other. Talk to her. You might have to go back in the past and rebuild some of the roads that you've destroyed as a husband. But don't spill your beans out here to people, man. I don't care how long you knew the person, and that's your significant other. That's your best friend. That's your wife. That's your helper. That's the mother of your kids, if you have any. That's the person you need to be talking to. Go to the problem. Don't go to an easy fix. Go fix that. As a real man, go and fix that. And if you can't fix it, you hear my words. You're not a real man. You need to become a real man and stand up. Stand on your ground. Stand up. Do your roles. And fix whatever your marriage needs to do. And if she files for divorce, then so be it. You didn't initiate it. But you got to fix it. You got to try to fix it. And if you can't fix it, then so be it. Let her file for divorce and let it be over with. But at least you tried. But don't take the easy way out and be another statistic out here in 2022 of being divorced. Because a lot of dudes out here is divorced. They got a lot of divorces on their resumes. Divorced twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. It's divorced. You got these single women out here thinking, oh my God, I think I found the love of my life. He's been divorced 3 times. I ain't saying it's his fault. I'm just saying he's been divorced 3 times. So be careful who you tell your problems to. They can't help you. Take it to God. Pray on it. Start working with you. There's things you're doing that's causing the marriage to fail because remember, you're the head of the house. You are the head of the house. And once the head is weakened, everything else is out of line. Fix you. Stand on your word and rekindle it. If not, your marriage is done. That's all I can say. What can you do to save marriage in 2022? Saving your marriage. Seek God. That's the number one thing I could tell you. Put God first. He has to be in the midst of your marriage. If he's not in the midst of your marriage, well, go ahead and join the divorce club. Or go and join the weirdo clubs where you guys are swinging and you messing around. And yeah, if God isn't in the midst, if you're not abiding by his word, yeah, you're going to be one of those guys. You're going to be the cheater. Or you and your wife might be swingers. You know, it's a lot of weird stuff that goes on out here. So put God first in your marriage. He created us. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a creator. What else can you do to save your marriage? After putting God first, remember, put God first. Reposition your role as the head of the household. Obviously, it's gotten to the point, if you're thinking about divorce or you're going through a divorce state or you and your wife are separated, you have lost the role of being the head of the household. You have to reposition yourself to be the head of the household. You must let your wife know, I am the head of the household. Things will change. And if you're not with the program, hey, do what you have to do. But my job as a man in this marriage is to be the husband. And my task, my duty is being the head of the house. She has to just understand that. And if she doesn't, like I said, you probably married the wrong woman. You thought you was head of the house, but you never were. Actions speak louder than words. I'm just saying. Begin being the man of your word process. Whatever you say, stand on it. Maybe your wife don't trust you no more because you're not a man of your word. You say one thing and do another. You promise your kids things and you don't do it. You promise this will happen and it's not. Being a man of your word, there's power in the tongue. Whatever you speak as a man, there's power, there's authority. Don't abuse that. Don't be lying out here. Don't be saying this and that and you don't do it because your wife will be looking at you like, I can't trust him. I can't trust him. He's weak. When your wife starts to look at you as you're weak, the disrespect is gone. She go to talking to you any other type of way. You have lost your role of being the head of the household. So reposition yourself to be the head of the household. Stand on your ground. It's going to be difficult, but you need to stand on your ground. You need to become the head of the household once again. Take your roles off of her. We all have roles in life. Think of it as a company. The owner of the company has a role to play to keep that company together and successful and to grow. That owner is to train, to give you insight of the company of what's to be expected. You need to be here on time. This is your role in your position. And your role is important because your position does this to the company. And your role does that for the position of the company. That's a role. If there's more than one owner or you have a weak owner, the company is going to fall. There's no stability. There's no strength there. So you can't have, and then you have the manager role. The manager role is not the owner's role. It's the manager's role. He's the second eye of the owner. And there's many, many manager positions in different type of industries and careers. But I'm just saying, the manager is not the owner. Once the manager thinks he's the owner and starts to, the owner better cut that out or have to cut him out. Otherwise, it's going to destroy your company. And then you have, the labor workers or the workers under, and it goes down. What's the same with the marriage? It's the same concept. The husband is the head of the house. There can't be two heads. There only could be one. And if you think there can be two heads, continue to struggle with your marriage. Continue to continually get divorced because it's going to happen. It happens. I know people that have been married for years and years and years, and then they finally divorced because there was no roles in the marriage. I know y'all hate me. I know y'all looking at me right now. How dare him speak on this? I speak whatever I speak. And it's not me coming sideways. I'm just speaking truth. Remember, I speak what's according to the Bible. I'm not making none of this stuff up. So if you're mad at me, you're mad at that Bible because that's what I go by. But in any event, there's roles in a marriage. And if you don't want to be the head of the household, there's no marriage. If the woman wants to be the head of the household, there's no marriage. Divorce is coming. Destruction is coming. I'm warning you right now. It will happen. It happens to the best of them. Pay attention to that. Take your roles off of her. Take your priestly duties off of her. She's not a mechanic. She's not like, you have to take control of, the finances. You have to know what's going on out here. You're the authority. You can't have her being the accountant, the tax, it's too much. That's not her job. It's your job. And if you don't know about budgeting, you better learn. We have to learn. We're not like animals where we're stuck to one lifestyle and that's all we know. No, we can learn. We grow every single day. Learn how to fight and save your marriage. Don't be listening to other people out here talking about girl, he don't tell you, my bad. I'm talking to the men. I'm sorry. Talking to the men. Don't be listening to your own, but oh man, women always right. Happy life, happy wife. And oh man, no. You are the head of the household. Your word matters. Your word, at the end of the day, your word makes it go. That's what it is. And in any event, decrease use of or eliminate social media entirely. If social media runs your marriage, you might want to stop that. Cut it out completely. I know there are some people that they're married and social media, that both of them is on social media 24/7. And social media and the post is filling your heads up with all type of stuff. Or how a marriage should be and what the husband should make and how he should look, how much he should weigh. He should be taking you to Paris this summer because my husband took me up. Like, just filling your head up with nonsense. Look at my hair. I just dyed it this way. Now you want to do it. If you're easily influenced by people and you're married, you might want to cut it. You just might want to cut it because most of those people ain't married. And if they are, they really aren't. They really aren't. So decrease the use or eliminate social media entirely. Schedule yourself. Like, okay, I'm only gonna be on social media for an hour out of the day. Because I know how it is. It was sometimes like with me, like social media used to hit on me when I was working at a job and I only made a certain amount of money. And I gave my life to Christ. And I'm like, man, I need to improve. I'm married now. I need to start owning my own stuff. And I used to get on social media, man. I used to see these people post, man. And I used to get hot. Not at the person posting, but I'm just like, how he or she is doing so good. They don't even believe in God. I believe in you. Why I'm broke? What? Like, that used to mess with me until I had to realize everything is posting. That's posting ain't the truth. Nobody's going to tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth. There's some people out there that will tell you the truth. But a lot of people, they want to be seen in the limelight. They want to be seen as I have money. People want to be seen like they're successful and there's no problems. Nothing bothers them. But as soon as that camera go off, just like perfect example, I'm looking at the little monitor that's recording me right now. I'm looking at that right now. And the only thing you guys can see is me and this gray background that looks professional and everything looks clear. The boom arm mic and the professional mic and everything just lit up good. But if I had another camera and y'all see how much stuff is set up here, you'd be like, wow, I didn't know it takes that much to just do what you're doing. It looks messy in here. Yeah, you need to have equipment, but that's how some of these people's lives are. That just let you see. Oh, look where I'm at. But yeah, they're still late at night. They're alone because they got divorced or they're hurting. They want to commit suicide because they can't take it no more. But they're only gonna let you see the glamorous part. Be careful. Decrease your use of or eliminate social media entirely if you cannot handle it. If you don't love yourself enough, if you don't love your wife enough that you need social media to boost your confidence and all of that, man, you really need to get a grip on yourself. You need to learn how to become that man that you're called to be. Because once you're doing your responsibilities, your wife is gonna get in line and do her responsibilities. Remember, you guys are one. You can't be separate. Whatever you do, she does. You have to set the example. You are the example. You are the leadership. You are the leader to your kids. You are the leader to your family. You're the one people look up to, your family. Your family looks up to you. You can't be out here setting bad examples and then say, oh, I'm a good husband. No, man, that's finna come to an end. Wake up. Social media won't tell you that. Wake up. Please. Tired of seeing people getting divorced out here, man. Especially if you was together 19, 20, 25, 30 years. And nowadays you divorced for whatever reason, man. It's nonsense. It's nonsense. And there's men out there, you feel trapped. You feel like, man, I don't want to be in this marriage no more. But the truth of the matter is, you can only divorce through infidelity. Anything outside of that, there's grave consequences, man. Just letting you know. And I'm talking on the spiritual side. On the spiritual side. There are some, listen. There are some depressed older men or younger men. There are some depressed men out here, man, that divorced. And man, they have to keep themselves preoccupied. Otherwise, they'll go crazy, man. For real. They have to stay occupied. They're sad inside. They're broken. They're hurt. Man, my marriage was good. My marriage was this. My marriage was that. And it all was thrown away for whatever issues you guys had. You don't want to be that guy, man. Sitting out there alone. Or you out here, you 48, 49 years old, and you out here chasing 20-year-olds. You don't want to be that guy. Why would you want to go through that? Why? And you know this 20-year-old, she don't love you. She don't like you. She like you because you got a good job. You have a career. You make some money. You about to retire soon. Other than that, you guys have nothing in common. Why put yourself in that position? Why be with someone else after you divorce? Now you don't want to be alone for the rest of your life. Now you got to struggle and find somebody, and you making decisions based off of the fly. Like, I need somebody now before I be lonely. And you settle down with somebody, and you was better off by yourself. I'm talking to somebody out there. Somebody got to feel this. I know I feel it. I haven't been divorced. My first marriage here, and I'm planning on having this done on a lifetime. In the name of Jesus, it's gonna be a lifetime commitment that I'm gonna go through with. In the name of Jesus, it's not gonna be peaches and cream. Sometimes we don't see eye to eye on things. Me and my wife, we've had many disagreements. I promise you. Promise you, it ain't peaches and cream. I promise you, this marriage life is not easy. It's not how it is in the movies and on Lifetime channel and all of that. This is the real deal Holyfield here. It's the real deal. But as long as we keep God in the midst and I continue to be the authority of this marriage, the head of my household, and she plays her roles, we'll be all right. We will be all right. I refuse to be like the rest of the people that I see. Social media and people I know that's divorced and they're bitter in their marriage. They can't stand each other. I can't be like them. It's too much of that. We got to change it somehow, some way. That's why I'm talking to the men out there. Change your perspective. Get off the little boy stuff. You're mid-30s. You're probably 40, 50. You're probably in your early 20s. If you got a good wife at home, you better start doing your stuff, man. Be on your job. Be on your job. Back to the you feel trapped. So a lot of y'all probably feel trapped. Do something about it. Encourage her. Start going on more dates. Rekindle that love. Start taking vacations together. But I don't know. Do something. Do something that attracted you to her in the first place. Also, you feel trapped. If your wife files divorce, there's nothing you could do about it. You didn't initiate it. I know probably some of y'all are going through divorce and your wife initiated it. You don't want it, but your wife initiated it for whatever reason. If it happens, man, honestly, you can't force somebody to stay married to you. If you got to sign the paperwork, man, at least try to talk to her. Try to, I ain't gonna say reason with her, but let her know what's up, man. Just let her know what's up, especially if you got kids or whatever. Let her know what's up. And if she still wants to go that route, there's nothing you can say to anybody, man. Like, you just got to let it go. But remember, you didn't initiate it. She did. Got to move on. Sorry, man. It maybe you married the wrong woman. Maybe you wasn't paying attention at the beginning. But maybe God wasn't in your relationship. Something happened where along this long journey that you guys had, it's just not working out no more. That's marriage. Because if you can keep that, that's a marriage. That's what marriage is going to lead to in a lot of cases. You guys grow apart. Even if the wife just loves the husband and the husband just falls out of love with the wife. I don't want her no more. Like, it's to some of us, it's going to happen. But you got to overcome that. You have to overcome that. Otherwise, you're going to fall just like the rest of them fell. Reestablish your role as the husband. And if you haven't never positioned yourself to be the head of the house, you need to position yourself to be the head of the house. That's it. And you feel trapped. At the end of the day, if you feel trapped, you feel I don't want to be in this. Remember, your marriage is a lifetime commitment. You uttered those words, I do. Death has to do you part. Or infidelity. You agreed and said, I do. Now you got to do it, man. Can't be a little boy and just renege and be out. Nah, I'm out, man. I like her now. No. Be a man. Stand up. Stand on your word. And then last but not least, the results of a divorce. What can a divorce do to a man? Like I said before, settling for someone out of desperation. Settling for someone out of desperation. I don't want to be alone. I don't want to be 60, 70 years old alone. I want somebody by my side. But you got the wrong person on your side. The person you married is the one supposed to be on your side. You got the wrong person on your side. They don't care about you. I'm talking to somebody out there. Fight for your marriage, man. Fight for your marriage. You don't want to be with somebody else that don't love you. They don't care for you. They're only there for you because what you can do for them. You don't want to be that person because now you're jumping from relationship to relationship, or you might get remarried again to the wrong person because you're doing out of desperation, and then the same results happen and you keep hitting that wall over and over. And no. I'm telling you this, so I'm trying to prevent you from going down the road that you're about to go down. It's real talk to all my men out there. Hope you got a notepad out. I'm dropping gems right now. The results of a divorce, you're going to be alone. Yeah, once age catch up to you, once your retirement check hit in, got a little bit of money coming in, guess what? Those 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds that you were chasing, you can't afford them no more because it's only going to get worse as the years go on. The price tag, just like inflation, the price tag is going to go up on these young girls. These young girls is pricing. They like to be flown out. They like to be taken care of, pampered, and flown back to where they came from. You got to do a lot for them. You got to probably take care of the kids and all of that. But you're on that retirement check or whatever, and it's going to come to a point, it's like, I don't even want that around me. It's like, you're going to be alone. You're going to be that guy, probably at the bar, or just alone. You don't want to be alone. We weren't created to be alone. We're created to be together. That's why marriage exists. Marriage exists because of the sole purpose. We weren't created to be alone. I know a lot of you men are, and I'm sorry that a lot of you men that are watching this that are going through this now, that you are alone. Unfortunately, I couldn't make the podcast in time. Age is a limitation. I've been through things on my own too, but I'm speaking to the men that's about to get married, that's about to get divorced, separated, talking to you. You don't want to, these are the results, man. You're going to be alone. You're going to settle for someone else out of desperation, man. I've seen people settle with other people out of desperation. Miserable. You know what else is a result of divorce? A lot of people don't talk about it. Suicide. Oh yeah. Some guys can't imagine that their wife, the woman that they've had kids with, that gave them everything, is sleeping around with somebody else, in love with somebody else. Some guys can't take it. They'll either commit a suicide, or they gonna let buddy have it, or they gonna let somebody have it, and they got to do some time in prison. It happens, folks. Just you don't hear about it a lot, but it happens. And last but not least, the result of divorce can result to hate for women. You're bitter. Man, you bitter. Some men are bitter, man. My wife, she did me, bro. You know what? I hate women. I'm going to do them wrong. I'm going to do them nasty. That's the results of divorce. Marriage is very serious. This is probably one of the most important decisions you can ever make in your life. And a lot of people make the wrong decisions because they're with the wrong person. Or, like I say, you as the man neglected to be the head of the house. Scared to be the head of the house. Scared of your wife. Scared what she might do. Oh, I can't be. We're equals. I can't. You thinking like that? All right. Time will tell. I'm not trying to discourage you, but men were built to be men and women were built to be women. Don't let this society, this day and age, fool you of how the roles should be in a marriage. Because it's obviously, just step back. There's more divorces going on now than successful marriages. But yet you would listen to society to tell you, oh, you guys are equal. No, you're not ahead of your wife. No, that's old. That's biblical talk. That's old stuff. That doesn't apply to today. But yet and still, there's divorces going left and right because those roles are being followed. You're listening to that instead of saying, wait a minute, something ain't right. More marriages lasted back in the day than now. But you decide to listen to the now and be another statistic going through the results of a divorce, losing it all. Not a right decision. Not a right decision at all. I don't listen to today's society. I don't listen to much of anything, really. I don't listen to the media. I don't listen to the news. I don't listen to it. Everything is theorized. I think I'm a specialist in this, and I theorize that this is this and that is this. One thing that never changed with me, from what I notice, is that word. I stick to that word because that word never changes. People do. Documents do. Books do. Documentaries do. They change every day. That Bible never changed. Yeah, sure, it might have changed literature as far as like words, because, and I'm not going to get into this debate, but it's easier to read nowadays based off of our intellect of reading. There's syllables, pronouns, and everything that we're used to reading every day. So the Bible is to the point where you can read it that like it's easier to read to understand, because if you go to like the way it was written originally, you probably couldn't even understand it. It was not even written in the English like term. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to get into all of that. But like I say, one thing I do know, that Bible, that word never changed. It never changed. By me going off of that word, it has helped my marriage tremendously. I come home in peace. I don't come home to noise and arguments. That's not how it works. I come home to peace. My wife comes home to peace. I try my hardest to not put my duties on her. I try not to. And if I feel like I'm doing it, I notice it right away. I'm like, nah, let me do that. I gotta take charge of this. We don't have ordinary arguments or arguments that's ordinary to you guys. There's never like an issue where, let me see your phone. Oh, who is this? What's this text message? Why is your phone locked in? I don't have those type of issues that a lot of people have nowadays in a marriage. We talk about other issues as far as how to make more finances, how to own our own business, how to make an empire, how to own real estate. That's what we talk about. There's no arguments about, and I'm saying that we're not perfect, but we don't have those basic arguments. Where were you last night? Why didn't you call me? Type of that, it doesn't exist here. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, get back to being a man of your word, being the priest, the head of your household. You have to take that, man. Otherwise, it's not going to work. There's never going to be peace in your house. Never. Hey, man, I dropped a lot of gems here. Marc being podcast, saving your marriage. Drop your comments below. Let me know what it is. See you guys on the next episode.